We're going to wrap it up with a new little segment that I am going to start
Oh,
for
shit.
this season. We're going to try it out. We are going to do in the party some live panic meters for certain people's teams.
Oh my
I
god.
like
Now
that. I
we're
like
not
that.
going to do everybody's team each week. I have selected 5 teams this week, and everybody in the party here can give
Oh my
their
god.
level of panic meter for these teams. So obviously we have Harmonious Tranquility, which would be the best rating, meaning you're not worried in the world. Everything is just picture perfect. Dash of worry would just be, just a dash. Heightened, I don't even know how to say that fucking second word. Trepidation. Cheese, what's your college degree? What does that mean? Like you're just a little.
Trepidation?
Yeah, well, what does that
It's
mean?
like
He's
I
got
mean,
no idea.
trepidation, like
I've heard it
you're,
before.
Zombie's gonna tell us what? Okay, zombie, what does it mean?
It's like
Go ahead,
like
zombie.
slightly.
Go ahead, college boy.
Okay. All
It's
right.
like
So
like higher fear.
higher
it's
fear. Okay. But
it's like you're kind of worried. It's
okay,
like you're
so
kind of.
a little bit of heightened worry, but nothing too crazy. All right, pessimistic nervousness. Obviously, that ain't the best. You're kind of getting down on your team with nervous, pessimistic ain't good. Discouraged dismay. Obviously, that starts to get bad. Certain concern, meaning you should definitely be concerned. Hopeless hysteria. That's like you're just in a total panic. And then irreparable catastrophic. That obviously would be the worst. So we're going to start with Ernie's team. Obviously, you see here Ernie 3-1, currently in second place in the league, has over 500 points for one of the few teams with that. He still has $55 in waiver budget as well for some possible moves down the line. Obviously, you see his lineup here. Pretty solid. Running backs obviously are the key to his team. He has 2 quarterbacks that he's been switching in and out each week. His Sam Laporta has looked like a great draft pick, late draft pick steal. And then it's kind of the wide receivers with the Mike Williams injury. Kind of that's the question mark on Ernie's team. So I'm going to go last on this one. So Cheese, where are we panic metering Ernie's team?
I think with Ernie, we're in the least amount of worry you could have.
So Harmonious Tranquility.
Harmonious, yeah, I think
Wow. Okay.
his wide receivers, even if a little shaky, they're better
Actually,
than some
let
other
me move that
teams.
all the way because you said no worry.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean his top 2 running backs studs.
Okay.
I
Um,
wouldn't put it that far.
Hold on. You'll have your turn, pussy. You'll have your
it's
turn.
fucking Christian McCaffrey. The
Uh
fuck are
huh.
you talking
Yep.
about?
Okay.
Derrick Henry?
He had a
I
great
mean,
week last
he's
week.
had some big weeks, couple big weeks, and then a couple shitters. Okay.
If
So
Derrick Henry
no
was his
worry whatsoever.
only running back, then it'd be different. But he has
Okay.
McCaffrey,
Okay.
so you,
So you're
they
basically
balance
saying
out.
McCaffrey makes up for his wide receiver question
Yeah,
marks.
I feel like his wide
Okay.
receivers are like better than some other teams out there, even
Okay.
with the question
Wow.
marks. Like
Okay.
God.
Ridley's
Interesting.
fine, Dubes is fine,
Okay.
Laporta's been super
Dobbs.
helpful.
Yeah. Okay.
Whatever. It doesn't look. I think there's no wor At best, you might
Yes.
need to trade for like a wide receiver 3 or maybe a
Okay.
wide receiver 2.
Flex. Yeah.
He
Okay.
doesn't need any big boys. He
I
needs,
gotcha.
death help. He's
Okay.
fine.
All right. All right. Fake rat. Where's the panic
I'm
meter for
gonna
Ernie?
put not. It's not gonna be like crazy dash of worry, but put it like right between those,
So in between
right
Dash of
between the.
Worry and Harmonious Tranquility.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, I see what Cheese is saying with his, wide receivers. I
Uh huh.
like Dobbs. I like the obviously we'd like the running backs.
Okay.
Quarterback's fine. I do think Dobbs is going to be needed to change up a little, and
Okay.
Justin Jefferson isn't Justin Jefferson in that lineup, so
That is true.
he
Yes.
could he could fall apart with that.
But who's on his
Okay.
So
bench?
if Ernie
Well, you
does
can
go
look that up.
get
I couldn't
Yes,
fit the
another
bench.
wide
Maybe next
receiver,
week I'll put the bench.
I think then it just goes
Okay.
back to the
Yeah.
perfect
Okay.
closing.
The question maybe could be: is Ernie finally going to get rid of one of his 2 quarterbacks one
Yeah,
week to get a
for
better wide receiver
nothing.
if he can
Yep.
find that
I
deal?
mean, he has Jamison Williams.
Yes, that is
Yeah,
a big
but
key as well. That
that
is
is
a big
true.
key as well. If
That
Jamison
he could be
Williams starts
something.
popping off and be something, that would be a huge,
But
Or
Ernie,
huge
he
Ernie's
could
help
got
to him.
go.
options.
He
Ernie's got
does. He does
options.
have some
He
on.
could
That's a good
He
also
could
point.
go get
easily.
like a guaranteed, knowing like what he's seen so far this year, rather than banking on Williams to be
Okay.
that
Okay.
guy.
All right. We're gonna say pussy. Zombie. Where is the panic meter for Ernie's team?
I think he should be pessimistic.
Wow, pessimistic
Wow,
nervousness. All right, so our first
wow.
sign of concern,
I'm
possibly
behaving.
for explain why, Zombie.
Uh, Derrick Henry had one final good week. He should have traded him
Hmm.
because
Okay, that's
he's
okay.
not gonna do anything. like that this season.
So you're saying he should sell high, try to sell high on Henry. Okay.
Yeah, his
All right.
wide receivers are very bad now that Mike's
Mm,
gone.
okay.
He
Wow.
has he has like three absolute like he has Addison, Ridley, and fucking
Dobbs.
Romeo Dobbs.
And possibly
Like,
Jameson Williams. Yeah.
yeah, like those
Okay.
guys are shitting the bed right now. They are not.
Okay.
They are
I don't know
not
about that.
reliable. They're not reliable wide receivers. So
Okay. So moving
that'll
forward, you
cost
don't think
them.
they're going to be reliable. Okay.
Yeah, it could cost them some wins.
All right. All right. Interesting. Interesting. All right. Pussy. Where are we panic metering Ernie's team?
I would put him at pessimistic nervousness,
Really?
just
So
like
right
Ernie,
where
or
Zombie
just
has
like
him.
Zombie.
Okay.
Yes.
Explain why.
And why? I would say that he needs to trade Joe Burrow for as
Okay.
much value as he could possibly get out of him. I
That's
don't think
hard
there's
right
any value
now.
out there,
Yeah.
but this league's different, so you never know.
Okay.
Derrick Henry, I don't like him. I think he's old, and he's
Really?
basically splitting the touches, or splitting the snaps, I should say, not touches. Splitting
Okay.
the snaps of the backup that I have, Tajay Spears. Romeo Dobbs, I that's a week-to-week thing. I
Okay.
think that wide receiver room's going to be iffy. I think
Okay.
they're going to be hard to spread the ball out. I like his tight end, like Calvin Ridley. Jordan Addison just put up a donut last week, so if
Yeah.
anything, he needs a flex.
Okay.
So I'm a pessimistic nervous.
Wow. Very interesting differences of opinions between two people on one side, two people on the other. I am going to just go with a dash of worry, just solidly in the dash of worry. I think Ernie's team is very solid. I think it's a playoff team as it stands. I get the wide receiver concerns, but I think the McCaffrey Henry, I disagree with Zombie and you. I think Henry will be fine. He's not going to be anywhere near McCaffrey level or maybe not top 5 running back level, but he's going to have big games. He'll have a couple stinkers here and there, but he'll have solid games. He's just a fucking tank, and Tennessee knows they have to run. When Tennessee has won this year, like this last week, Henry pops off. So they know they need big games from him to win, and they'll keep trying to get him those. Obviously, Jameson Williams coming back is a crapshoot, but if he comes back, then Ernie obviously I think gets into the tranquility level because that will help his wide receivers tremendously. So that's where I will have him. All right, moving on to the second team for a panic meter on. Zach 10K, currently sitting in 10th place. You see the points for 1 and 3. He does have almost his full waiver budget left, so $98. You know, Zach loves to go all in on a $100 or in this case $98 man. So we'll see if one comes up later here in the season. I think that's what he's hoping for. So one comes up later in the season. You see the lineup here. Obviously, he's got a couple guys banged up this week, but they should play. I'm going to start with this one. I am going to put Zach with the bad start, with the last season getting off to a bad start as well and never recovering. I think Zach, obviously, he's been MIA certain weeks. He started off with that horrible bad beat week 1, which did not start good for his team. Hopeless hysteria, which I think Zach currently is in, since he just got lost to Cheese pretty badly. So he's in a hopeless hysteria at the moment by not talking and not showing up to the show. So I'm going to put him in that. I'm not going to put him all the way at the bottom because I do think he has a couple good enough players to keep him out of that range. But if I'm Zach, I am panicking in hopeless hysteria just because Chase has not performed at all. And he's got a couple guys that you just don't know what you're going to get from them. And he hasn't really put up many points this year in any week besides the one week he got the win. So I would be pretty panicked if I'm Zach, and I'd be in a hysteria right now looking at this team thinking I'm going to be battling again like it was last week just to stay out of last place like he did last year. All right, Cheese, where are we putting Zach's panic meter?
We're in certain concern.
Certain concern. Wow. Okay, so a little bit less than me. All right. And why?
Well, so if Zach was a reasonable fantasy player, he
Oh.
would trade,
Ooh.
and
Okay.
but he doesn't trade.
Yes.
So there's
Okay.
no. But if he was a reasonable fantasy player, would be able to get some value
Turn
out
some
of
shit
his
around.
team.
Okay,
I
that
think
is
Chase can still get there.
Okay.
Miles Sanders is trash though, and Skinny D is out of the picture now. So,
Okay.
but I mean,
That is a very good point you
It's-
make about the trading, because he was the one that was proposing a trade limit of 5 for every team, and yet he seems to be the person least
I
negotiating
think he could
so
still
far.
get value for Chase
Uh-huh.
or Mark Andrews if you wanted to do the waiver wire tight ends. He could
Okay.
easily get value to fix his team.
Okay.
He could make moves, but he's not.
He
He's not
doesn't
going to.
know how to.
Okay.
He just
Mm.
he's
Well,
he
that's
doesn't
why I'm
pay
saying
attention enough.
certain
Concern,
concern
because
because if
he's
the
not going to
moves
make
were
the moves.
made,
He's
he
not
could
going
get
to
he
out. But
identify.
doesn't
if he does
Okay.
he doesn't pay
absolutely
attention
nothing,
enough.
if
All
he
right.
does absolutely nothing, it will be irreparable catastrophe.
Interesting. All right, Pussy, you can chime in now. Go ahead with where's your panic for
I
Zach's team?
actually like Zach's team a lot. I think 1-3 doesn't really assess his overall team. I think his
Really?
quarterback's
Okay.
good. I like Josh Jacobs, Miles Sanders.
Okay, well, give me where are you putting his panic first?
I'm gonna say certain concern.
Okay, so you like his team a lot, but you're concerned why?
1-3 and will not trade with any single person unless he is raping them. So
Wow.
I
Okay.
would say that he loves Michael Thomas.
Uh-huh.
I wouldn't start Michael Thomas every week. He has a guy named Zay Flowers that's on the bench that I would start. I would start every week.
Yes, and I did
I would
try to
bench
hit him.
TDD.
I did try to hit him up this week because I was looking at Zay Flowers to try to get him for my flex, and I got a reply back of, "If you're not doing a panic nuke trade, I ain't talking." So
Yeah.
that
See,
Well,
that's just like
hopefully-
we don't need those guys in the
Hopefully,
league, but
him
I
and
understand.
Slaps will swap rosters.
yeah, maybe those two can work out a nuke. That would be
No, I don't want that because then Slaps' team is actually good.
Oh.
So.
Okay. All right. Fake
But
rat.
I'm gonna put him in hopeless hysteria.
Okay. So agreeing with me.
We always talked about his team's just not clicking.
Yep.
But after this weekend, it's going to the bottom, buddy.
Okay.
This
Yeah.
is the weekend that it just goes all the way to the
So
bottom.
maybe you send him
I
to
think-
nuke.
I think, like she said, he has players there that people would be interested in, but he just ignores everybody when it comes to trading and
Okay.
always doesn't look for the. He could change the team around, like she said, and maybe it could
Okay.
turn around.
I hope he
but
watches
right
this.
now, right
I'm
now,
interested in your full team, Zach.
nothing is heading in the right direction for Zach. So.
I think the problem with that Pussy, as he's already said in the party many times, especially with you in here, is you may like his team, but as he is quoted, he doesn't like a single player on your team. So I don't know how you're going to get a deal done when Zach doesn't like anybody on your
He
team.
doesn't know any better, golfer. He doesn't.
Well, how are you going to convince him to take the Broncos?
I'm not saying I would trade the Broncos, but I would trade my
okay.
best player for a couple players on his.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, good luck. Maybe he'll listen to you now after this. Zombie, where are we
He
putting
ain't fucking watching this show.
Zach's
He ain't
team?
showing up. Useless.
What are the levels? Let me see.
Catastrophic,
supposed to have more
hysteria,
say than I
certain
do?
concern, discouraged, dismay, pessimist,
This guy's
nervous.
supposed to have
nervousness.
more say than I do. That's interesting.
What are you
I
talking
think
about?
he should be in discouraged. Dismay.
Oh, so okay, lighter than everybody else has so far. Really? Okay. So discouraged, dismay, but not a total panic. Why?
Because he still has good players. He just like he just needs to trade at least someone.
Okay,
Like,
so you think he's just waiting it out because he knows he has good players just to see if they start clicking together in a lineup like they
Yeah,
did the
like-
one week he got his win.
yeah, like he traded with me to get the third pick. To take
Yeah.
Chase.
Yeah, and that just hasn't
And
worked.
now, because Burrow's hurt,
Yeah.
and although his Mike Thomas obsession
Is hurting
I
his
don't-
team.
I don't- yeah.
Yeah, I would agree. He said he wasn't going after Thomas this year after what he's done to him in the past years, and then he took him in the draft way higher than what he could have took him in. I think he could have got away 2 more rounds in the draft and then took him. And he missed out on some very key players at that position in the round when he took Thomas. And although Thomas hasn't been horrible, he hasn't been the Thomas that Zach is expecting him to be. So we'll see if that changes at all. All right, moving on to then the third one. We have Fake Rats Hunter's Replacement.
I like how that makes the
This
first one.
is an interesting one. 2-2. Has a pretty good amount of points for, over 500. That's a good mark. Has faced a lot of points as well, 505. We got the Chiefs stack there. We got Tyreek Hill there, so some good players. He's made some deals. I am going to put Rats team at just a dash of worry. The only reason I'm putting Rat's team at a dash of worry isn't so much the players that he has on his team. It's the fact that he always constantly is looking to make a deal, possibly if one arises. And I just worry that Rat, with his good team like he did last year in JV, that he's going to end up trading away somebody. He already kind of did it once with Keenan Allen. But I think he's going to possibly do it again down the line with somebody else. I mean, he keeps shopping Tyreek Hill to me. So right there, I'm sure he's shopping him to. I'm sure he's shopping him to somebody else.
Tyreek Hill?
Yes, he would been shopping
who's
Tyreek
the
Hill to
golfer
me.
actually is
He
valued?
keeps trying to bait me in with the, oh, you can have Tyreek Hill and Justin Jefferson
Okay.
together.
I'll write that down, Rat.
So
Yeah,
I
Rat's
just
whole
worry
thing is,
eventually Rat he may trade away
okay.
somebody because he thinks
What
he's
if I
getting a
don't
great
trade?
deal.
Where am I?
If you don't trade, then I think you're in tranquility because I think this team is definitely good enough to make the playoffs. But I just don't, especially if Ake keeps doing what he's doing or Chan keeps doing. But the reason I put you at dash of worry is not so much for your team worry, it's for your managing skills dash of worry. So, Cheese, where are we putting it?
Look, Brad has a decent team,
Uh-huh.
but he likes to fuck it up.
Okay, so where are we ranking?
So I'm going to be in the I'm going to be in the heightened trepidation. I'm
Okay.
nervous.
Okay.
It's a great team,
Uh-huh.
but we got to see what moves because he had Keenan Allen at
Uh-huh.
one point. He
Yeah.
had, this could be a zombie situation from last year where you look back at the week 3 team and it was God tier.
Okay.
And it would have carried him all year, and then he traded them all away.
And
So
also, he did admit to a manager mistake last night when he forgot to do his waivers. Which,
yes, that is true,
so-
but
I was
that's
at
a
the
one-off.
game.
That's a one-off
Uh-huh.
situation.
I mean, yeah.
He's
Okay.
not going to be able to afford to go to the rest of the Phillies game if they advance because the tickets get really high. So
Oh.
Okay.
I
Are
literally
they
have
winning
4 more
right
than you,
now?
buddy.
Are
yes, they are.
Yeah.
So they will
They
be
are?
playing the Braves, who will
Ooh.
then bring.
Buddy, I have 4
Okay.
more than you.
So you'll be rooting for the Phillies then, Cheese, huh?
I will be rooting for the Phillies. I
Oh.
support every team who plays the Braves.
Interesting. Okay. All right. Pussy.
I'm going to put at pessimistic nervousness.
Ooh. Okay. So a little bit
Okay.
lower. Why? Why are you nervous?
Because
Why should he be nervous?
As showcased in his debut in the JV League last season, he
yes.
pissed away his team by trading.
Okay. So you think that could happen? Same thing this time.
Correct.
around.
And it won't be with me because I am formally blocking him from DM.
Wow. Why? Pussy, do you really think that's a
he
good
will.
idea to
He'll show up in your
alienate
DM,
people in
he'll
your
show up in
position?
your DM, He'll show up in your DM with an idea and be like, "Well, we just made a trade where we have good negotiations," and they'd be like, 2 players on my team are for sale."
Okay. Well.
They are.
Look, I will say that Rat does this thing where he's like, "I'll give you my best player,
Yeah.
or your player, and somebody I won't tell you who it is."
Yes, he does do that. He's done that quite a
Yeah,
bit
but
with
you
me the
don't
last
tell me,
2
though.
weeks. He does always ask, "What do you want for this player?" Or "I'll give you this player for this guy and someone else." But that someone else is always the key part of the deal that he
Yeah.
doesn't say.
Yep.
Interesting tactic by Rat. Okay. Zombie, where are we ranking
No problem.
Rat's panic meter for his team?
His team should be in certain concern.
Wow, really low. Okay.
They
Why? Why should he be so certainly concerned? Looking at that roster.
Because this motherfucker hits me up every fucking day
Oh.
for Swift. Even though
So you're saying he's gonna get baited in either by you or Slaps for the Eagles, boys?
What is wrong
And
with
Yeah.
overpay? Okay, that's interesting. Wow. Those Eagles gonna cost you, huh?
also, besides Hill, like
Uh-huh.
his wide receiver.
Wow, his wide receivers are ass besides Hill. Really?
Oh,
Okay.
my wide receiver Kelsey is right there too.
Okay. Interesting. All right. Rat, go. Yeah, you can go ahead. I'm sure I know this answer already, but what is your panic meter on your team right now?
Put me in perfect.
I knew
playing
that
right
was going to
now,
happen. Do you
who
want it
wants
all
to
the way,
Charles
or you want it
all the way?
midway?
All
All
the
the
way.
way. Really?
Who
Okay.
wants the Charles Barkley guarantee?
Ooh.
I will
Oh
not
no.
get rid of some of these players.
Oh no. Why did you say
The
that?
guys that won't move all year:
Oh god. Okay.
Mahomes,
Okay.
James Cook,
Okay.
Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce,
Like
Chase,
that's like all
and
your
Brees
team.
Hall.
So you
Nobody's
left
moving.
out Tyreek. Oh wait, you
No,
did say Tyreek.
I left
Then
out
why have you been
Terry
shopping
McLaurin and
Tyreek
DJ
Hill?
Moore. I'm not moving.
Okay, so how do you expect to
I
get your Eagles boys
guarantee.
if you ain't gonna move any of
Because Zombie's being a cheap ass, so I'm done with that guy.
them? Wow.
Well, we got a
Zombie,
Swifty on our hands, aka
I
faggot.
guarantee nobody from the starting lineup besides McLaurin would move.
Mm.
And
Oh my
obviously
God,
the
Okay.
Swifty!
defensive kicker.
Okay.
I guarantee.
Strong statement
Who
there. All
wants to
right, well,
put
this
money
is on
it?
the record, so this will be played
I
back
will
at a
put
later
money on
time
it.
once I see
Who
a
will?
trade.
Who
Okay.
will put money on it?
All right, interesting. All right, moving on to the fourth team this week. We have finally Hunters gone. Slaps at 1-3. Mediocre, obviously, start to the year for Slaps. Obviously, we've kind of discussed some of his decision making so far this year as being a problem. We're going to start Cheese. You go ahead and start with Slaps here. What is the level of concern for Slaps?
Hopeless hysteria. It's bad.
Wow, it's bad. Okay.
He's trading too much. He's
Okay.
I don't know what the fuck his team is anymore.
Okay.
It's all boom bust. And unlike Zach's team, like you would have to trade the Eagle stack to get back in it, and he doesn't.
Yeah.
Price is too high for everybody.
Okay.
Which is ridiculous.
Okay.
I mean, looking at what was his week 2 team?
He had Keenan Allen, I think, which he has
Yeah.
admitted openly that Keenan Allen trade he fucked up in.
He had Godwin, Mostert, Swift, Kirk.
He already told me he made a
DJ
mistake
Moore.
trading Swift.
Oh yeah, he's admitted he's traded Swift, which is a mistake, and Keenan Allen.
And then had Garrett Wilson. Like he's just progressively getting worse every week.
Wow. So.
And he's trading his. What you said earlier, he's trading his depth for like better players, but they're boom bust better players. Not like stud gonna get you at least.
I
10
almost
points.
think if Zach and Slaps merge their trading styles together, it would be the perfect type
They
of
could trade.
style.
They could make a trade.
Well, I'm not even just saying that make a trade. I'm just saying if you took Zach's inability to listen to any type of offers or negotiate at all, and Slaps' ability just to constantly push trades down everyone's throat, if you merged it together, it might actually be a good type of trading method. But okay, so hopeless hysteria. All right, Rat.
Can you move the arrow like all the way down?
All the way to catastrophic at the bottom?
All
the way for last place concern?
This is just as bad as Poose's team.
Oh my god.
It's falling apart.
Okay.
So Pussy versus him for the final last place.
You're gonna really talk so much shit that this league's gonna turn into a disaster.
Gabe Davis at flex. He got rid of all.
Well, he's got a bye. He's got Cooper on bye. You got to remember.
Oh yeah. Besides Eagle Stack.
I don't understand the Cooper deal.
They're good, but his week 1 team compared to this team has just flown in the direction of I don't know.
Okay.
That's what I will say.
So it's gonna be catastrophic, huh? Wow.
Yep. Finally, Hunter's gone. Maybe next year can be the name of Finally Slaps is gone.
Wow. Oh, come on. Just because somebody has a bad year doesn't mean you want him out.
He made it to the finals last year.
He's the total opposite of Hunter. At least he's gonna respond to any type of offer and send you offers nonstop.
Slaps is active. He'll respond to you.
Okay. All right. Zombie. Where is the panic meter for Slaps?
I am gonna say certain concern.
Certain concern. Wow. Okay. So a little bit less than the previous people. Okay. So why concern but not total catastrophic?
Because he still got he can trade on the Swift for some better players still.
Okay. But do you trust him in his trades to make the right type of moves? To get the value back that he should get to win the trades.
Yeah, if he doesn't second guess it.
Well, okay, but Slaps. Like he's one comment away from second guessing his move in the chat every time.
Yeah, he's just gonna have to fucking block that out because all the
Okay.
time he ends up just getting baited and
Yes.
doing the wrong thing.
I mean, you
even
baited
though
him
it
to
would.
start the year. What do you mean? With that
Oh yeah,
tweet. Okay.
I know, but he always falls for it. Like he's just gonna have to block it out, and
Mhm.
it'll work out for him.
And go with
Especially
what
if
he
he,
thinks.
yeah,
Okay.
especially if he could trade away the Eagle stack and get some good players.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll see if he. My thing. I'll let Pussy go here in a second. I'm gonna put Slaps at hopeless hysteria because Slaps himself, when it comes to running his team, is a hysteria. He is 1,000 miles a minute trying to make these trades. He comes back every week, even after you tell him that nothing's changed from the previous week on how we're gonna make a deal, and he is just a hysteria. When he's trying to trade, it just seems like he's in a hysteria because he's just trying to get these deals done so bad. I don't think so. Obviously, a couple of his trades might have been decent, but some of his other trades I don't think have worked for him.
Can I say
Last
one more
year,
thing?
hold on. Last
Sorry.
year he made trades and they worked to get his team a lot better. So far this year it hasn't, so I mean he's gonna have to somehow try to find those type of ways or get lucky with some of his deals. The Amari Cooper one this past week is the definition of hysteria. He trades for Amari Cooper, he has a bad game, and then he's trying to shop him and had a deal done with Ernie, and then Ernie saved him by canceling. So I just don't understand the madness or the the plan. It just doesn't seem sometimes like he has a plan when it comes to doing these deals. He just goes off a week to week with no plan when he comes to trade type of
Why
things.
did Ernie cancel again?
I don't know. I asked Ernie yesterday why you would cancel that because I thought Ernie was getting the better end, and he
I
didn't really give
have.
me a reason. So,
I want
okay,
to
go
add
ahead,
on
Rat.
to.
Yes.
So obviously, I like to trade too. Me and Slaps are in the same boat. We just trade, trade, trade.
Yeah.
And we fuck it up sometimes.
Uh-huh.
I fuck it up more maybe, but Slaps will trade his players, get rid of his
Yes.
good players, and then
Yes.
come back and like try to get rid of the players he just traded for that
Yes.
nobody's interested in,
Uh-huh.
and that's what fucks
That's
it up
because he
there.
realizes he made the
He
mistake,
just
so then he's
he,
trying to
that's
solve his
that's
mistake.
why I don't think he can fit unless he just pulls
Okay.
off a miracle and fixes
Okay.
it, but
Okay.
it's
All
not.
right. All right. Pussy, Cheese put him in catastrophic and said
Oop.
him and you are kind of in the same boat. Where do you have Slaps's panic meter at? Because clearly you think your team is better than Slaps, I'm assuming.
He has a. This is a or whatever the fuck.
Catastrophic. Okay. All right.
Whatever the fuck it's pronounced.
Yes. Yes.
He just trades his team to shit every goddamn
Well, he didn't do it
season.
last year. Last year he traded his team to glory. I mean, made the final.
I mean, it's
But-
just.
I think that might have got in his head because now he's trying to do the same thing this year and it hasn't worked.
He means well, but he
Yes.
just.
I would agree.
I don't understand.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. All right. And then finally, the last team for this week's panic
great.
meter. Obviously, come on. Pussy was all panicking that I was just going to shit on his team this whole segment. We're not going to do it the whole segment, Pussy. We're just going to do it at the end, possibly. Obviously, we
so
see
this-
teams,
That
Pussy's
points
team,
against
1 and
him.
3.
Oh yeah.
Least amount of points for in last place at the moment. Is it going to get better? Is there any room for maybe some positive notes? I will start. Pussy, I'm sorry. I have to put you all the way at catastrophic. I'm not going to put you all the way at the bottom because I think you have a chance to avoid last place. But at the moment, the team I'm looking at looks very similar to my type of team from last year that I got last place in. So I am going to have to say you're going to be battling for that
Perfectly
at the
fair.
moment. You got 3 Broncos, and the Broncos themselves are a catastrophic, horrible team this year. So having those as well just adds to the problem of your team. So that's where I'm going to put you. Obviously, you're trying to make moves. I understand that. It's hard when people don't want your players or don't want to negotiate. I understand those pains from last year. So we'll see if you can turn it around. There's still plenty of time left in the season. But at the moment, if I was you and I had this team, I'd be in a catastrophic panic. All right. Cheese.
We're in irreparable catastrophe. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah.
When we're
Imagine
starting
that.
when we're
Dag.
starting 3 Broncos, that's where we're at.
Okay. Yes.
It's
Faggot.
and
And
I'm not blaming Pusa entirely. He got fucked with the injury.
with the injury, yeah, but I don't think, as we've talked about, and Pussy may disagree, as obviously the Taylor Hole trade type of thing, I don't think that helped.
Look, I
Panic.
think I'm gonna keep it there for now. But if Taylor
Okay.
comes back,
Yes.
there's some hope.
There
Lot
ain't
of
no
games
hope. He
left.
doesn't have Taylor anymore.
Oh wait, he did
He
trade Taylor.
traded him
What the
away
fuck
for
did
Ramondre Stevenson.
I missed that. What the
Last
fuck?
week, you weren't at the show. We had a long discussion about it.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, we're catastrophe. Why'd you do that? Jonathan
That was
Taylor was
perfect.
said upside.
Cheese just set you up for a possible less panic for the guy that you
I mean,
traded.
it's fucking
Ramondre,
cheese.
Jonathan
It's fucking
Taylor has way
cheese.
more upside. Like he could be a league winner
Look
if he
at the
comes
source.
back and you trade him. Hey, my team is
Source.
great. Let's do the panic meter
Okay.
for my team. We're flying.
Maybe in a future week, Cheese. Don't worry. You'll get in at some point. Everybody will get in at some point. All right. All right. The fake rat.
All right, I'm gonna have a very strange pick, but
Whoa.
it's because
Okay.
I don't think Poos is gonna get last. So we're gonna
Okay.
put him in dash of worry.
Dash
Here's
of
why we're gonna-
worry.
Here, no, listen. You're in a dash of worry because you don't have to worry about the fantasy season anymore because you're not really gonna be competing with this team.
Okay, so he doesn't have to worry about last place, but he also doesn't have to worry about making the
No,
playoffs.
I think
Yes.
he's in the battle to for last place.
So you can
Oh,
just
I
go
agree with
install the
that.
app
Okay,
and come
hey,
back
golfer, is
and
this gonna be
it will
posted on YouTube?
Yes, it will be a
Yes, it
separate
is.
video. Yes.
It
Okay,
will
thank
be
you.
based-
Perfect. Yeah.
It will be basically the same between you and Slap. We'll see.
I like what you did
cannot
there.
wait for this.
Well done.
I
Well
cannot
done.
wait.
I like what
But
you
I
did
think-
there, moving him to that.
I think you beat out Slaps for last place. buddy.
Okay. Wow.
I
Nice.
cannot wait for this. This is gonna
Okay.
be awesome.
All right.
Oh, when you score
Zombie.
80 points next week.
Zombie.
Oh, I gave it
I
to Green.
think
Poos.
Poos's team is Harmonious Tranquility.
Okay. Are we setting up some type of false thing like?
I'm just kidding. This might be the worst fucking team in the whole history.
All right, we're gonna
of
spin it
football.
around this way to get to the bottom.
This is
Okay.
irreparable. It's Jover. It's whatever you want to call it. It's
Okay.
Newcastle beating PSG 3-0. It's fucking embarrassing.
Okay.
Fucking nuke it and start over.
Okay. Well, I think he's trying. The problem is, I don't
Look,
think many
call
people
up
want the guys
Slaps,
for his new.
Call up Zach.
Okay.
Swap rosters. See what happens.
Well, he's tried with Zach. Zach has already said he doesn't like any of his players, not one of them. All right, Pussy, you can end it off here. Obviously, we've all shit on your team here and said all of us have said, you're battling for last, or maybe you just avoid last. Catastrophe. Obviously, 2 weeks ago when I asked you your panic meter, you said it was a 0 for last place. You weren't worried at all. Where are you at on this panic meter? Now, 2 weeks
For
later,
0?
and you're in last place.
It's still at a 0, but I will put myself on this meter at discouraged dismay.
So all the hate is starting to get you discouraged, huh?
More the performance
Okay.
of my players.
All right.
I think I'll get a victory this week, which will
Mm.
put me at pessimistic nervousness.
Okay.
But yeah, at some point my players just got to deliver.
Okay. Yep. And if they deliver, then maybe some of us will change our meter in the future. We'll see. All right.
Oh, dude, you'll change your meter because I'll make sure you do.
Oof.
I'll have
Okay.
clips and I'll have notes and I'll have.
Okay. Well,
Can
I
we
think
put Poos
I think the only way you're
Poos
gonna
is every
change your
week?
meter is if your team starts performing like you.
Pusa,
Golfers.
I am Charles Barkley guaranteeing you're not
Oh.
making the playoffs.
Ooh.
Oh, shit.
Ooh,
Okay.
the jinx. The jinx.
Dude, you know
He
how
did get a
long this
break.
clip video
Barkley.
is gonna
Can
be?
we put Poos in every week?
we'll see.
You
We'll
know how
see.
long
I
this
can't
clip
keep.
video's gonna be?
If
This
I
might
keep
be a
shitting on Pussy every
5-minute
week, he's
video.
not gonna come to the show. So I need him here.
Oh, I'll be at the show.
Okay.
Golfer, we've had
Yeah, I
shows
will
for
give-
6 years probably.
Okay. All
Poos
right.
does show up to all the shows.
Yes, I
Everybody
give you
else is
credit, Pussy.
shit.
You're a good
Poos
sport,
needs
which
to
is
shit,
why
let's
I put
not-
you in
let's
this
not
week.
be
Hey,
stupid.
I was last at some point. and I
Yes,
was
everybody
I
gets
think I
last
gotta
at
call
some
out
point.
somebody.
I was last
I
last
showed
year.
up.
It happens.
You didn't
I
show
want
It
to
up.
call out
happens.
somebody
I
right
think
now
I'm
who
at
doesn't
99%
Whoa, I
of the
did
show.
show up.
Wait. Go ahead, Ryan. What?
I'm gonna call out Pook, who does not show
Oh.
up and does not want to talk about his shit
Okay.
team and when he's gonna miss
Ooh.
the playoffs.
Interesting. Okay. That is very interesting. Pook, I don't want to say I totally agree with you, but in years past, it has there has been a lot of times Pook shows up to the show when he wins the matchup, but then
Yeah,
when he loses,
exactly.
he doesn't. So we'll see. You know, he hasn't shown up at all this year, though, even when he won. So maybe he just can't make it. I don't know. But that is an interesting call out. So we'll see. Next week, we will have 5 different teams, most likely, 5 new teams. And we'll see what happens on if any panics change for certain teams. Next week, we'll catch you back for the next show.